Hello and welcome back to All the Gear Some Idea, and we are on the R1. Now, last video, it ran. Sweet. And then doesn't run. I did say, join us next time for checking the carbs. Not today. The carbs have been off, check them, bits been put in them, but I have jumped the gun slightly because I've been too hasty. So what we need to do is a compression test, because I did one last night and it was very low. I put some oil in there, it went very high. So I'm going to do a compression test on camera. Now I do believe there's still oil in the bores, so we should be reading around 220-ish PSI. I will hopefully put the footage in of what it was last night when I was doing it, and it was about 75 to 100. We're way off. I think the minimum is like 206, and we were at 75 to 100 last night. So fully charged battery. So this is also another good test, but I've got a feeling we're going to be about 225 PSI because there's oil in the bores. So we're going to do that. Once we've done that, we will then do a bore scope down there and see if we can find anything untoward. This should have been my first steps, but too hasty, too excited. R1, let's get it running. And it ran, and it sounded sweet, but, you know, it's got low compression, So let's hopefully find nothing too serious. It could be a timing problem, but we'll find out. Let's hit it with the compression tester. So here we have the compression tester. So let's start with cylinder number 1. So that one is reading 225. Roughly the same, 230, so this is really high. Once again, high. And also high. Okay, so those readings are all roughly around 225 PSI. So this has just been delivered by Amazon. It's an industrial endoscope. It comes with a lovely little bag to put it in. It's got a massive cable on it. It's rechargeable via USB-C, and it comes with these little ends, so if you drop something, you can hook it back up. I've never owned one. I've definitely used one. The only difference between this one and other ones I could find is this has a camera on the end, and it also has a camera on the side, which is fantastic. So we're going to get this in the bike now, and hopefully we don't find anything of any interest. Shit. Okay, so we have the endoscope in cylinder 1, and I'm going to show you what I found. So that is in cylinder 1. That is a cracked liner. Yeah, not brilliant, and it runs and it sounds alright when it runs, but that's obviously going to be causing a problem when trying to start it. So I'm going to go through the rest of them, see if it's just the one or if it's all 4 of them, and then I'm going to have to let Matt know what the score is. I haven't got a problem with rebuilding the engine and sending it off for new liners, and I think it's worth it, but it's not my bike at the end of the day. I'm just here making videos. So yeah, let's have a look at the other ones and go from there. So this is cylinder number 4. You can see just here there's another crack in a liner. Yeah, it's not looking good. So let's do 2 and 3. This is cylinder number 2. Once again, another crack in the liner, which is just there. And last but not least, number 3 has also got a crack in it, just there. Okay, so there we go. We've just diagnosed the reason why it won't run as an internal problem with the engine. It is cracked liners. Now, I think I've seen something online about getting them replaced, so I will take a look at that. It's not down to me whether that gets done or not. It isn't my bike. It's Matt with 2 T's, who I've had some of his stuff on the channel before, and we've not been this unlucky before to have a bike that's got this problem. Now, I know it's common to have this problem, and maybe I should have started with that. Maybe I jumped the gun. But when turning it over, it sounded absolutely fine to me, but with a high compression engine, it's half the compression it's supposed to be, but it's still roughly what the K100 is as standard. So it is what it is. Like I say, have that conversation with him. If he wants to go down the route of rebuilding it, absolutely fine. If he doesn't, it will be stripped for parts. But as I say, that's not down to me. So keep an eye on the channel so we find out what happens with this. I'm going to concentrate on the Triumph and get a few things sorted on that, and definitely make sure we do a compression test on the Triumph first thing. So yeah, fairly unlucky, but if you want one that you know is going to be right, I think the best option is to rebuild it. So yeah, if you want to see more videos on bikes that have problems, obviously don't forget to subscribe. And if you know somebody that can help with the liner issue, by all means, comment down below. But in future videos, we'll be doing more stuff on the Triumph, more stuff on the K100 and Lee's Cortina. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.